Hey guys, so as you all know, I just made another vlog about how God was confirming that my husband was coming. Well, God is confirming again. So I was sitting at home and I started to watch this movie called When We First Met, right? And he's trying to get back with this girl that he thinks is his one, but actually it turns out it was another girl. Anyways, I don't want to ruin the plot line for you. But so I'm sitting there and I just felt super weird and I was like I kept hearing go out to eat, go out to eat, and I was like really I wanted to, but I didn't. I wanted to interact with people, but then I didn't. And I knew it's my heart's desire to date again and to be available emotionally. But there was a part of my heart that was also very scared to go out and to talk to people. And I just wanted to be comfortable. I wanted to be home alone. And lo and behold, I finished the movie and I hadn't eaten. It was at 9 p.m. And I was like, you know what? I just need to go. And so I ran. And before I left home, I got an email about how they were looking for self-tape auditions for this project. About I'll share with you more if I get it, but yeah, just pray for me. Anyway, so I was like, oh wow, something's actually happening, God. So I went to the restaurant and sat down and I was eating. I finished eating. And this guy, he was so cute. He was like, "Oh, you're back again." And I was like, "You remember me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw you there." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then I just because oh, so when I was eating, I started crying because I was just experiencing a lot of emotions that I wasn't feeling today. Basically, I felt like a lot of things in my life have been delayed. Like my husband, getting married, things that I wanted to open up in entertainment industry, things like that. But things were getting delayed and God kept closing the doors and I kind of felt just my heart felt very sick and I just needed to cry. So I started crying and eating my noodles crying into the bowl and but I felt so much better because I was like, what is this weird feeling in my heart? I didn't know what I was feeling and I couldn't really sit down and relax because that feeling was just flooding up my heart. So after I cried and I ate, yeah, the guy came by and he was a waiter. He's like, "Oh, you're back again." I was like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah," And I was like, I just said what was how I felt. And I was like, "You're very handsome." I was like, "You're very handsome." And he was like, "Oh, thanks, no." And he walked away. He was really shy about it. And I just heard God say ask him on a date. And I was like, I was like, "How old are you?" And he was telling me he's mid-20s and I'm like, "Oh, I'm 31." But I was like, "God, I know that dating is more about opening your heart than just I guess I think it's making your heart available instead of thinking oh my gosh, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be so sad or so disappointed." It's more about just the process of opening your heart and trusting God again. Because I have been so hurt in the past, I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to go through this." If I know he's not my husband, I don't want to even hang out with him. But I feel like God's like, "Okay, well, this is more about the process of learning how to communicate with a guy." And so even if it's just a day or you hang out with him and you get to know him, it's it's opening your heart up again. But it was hard. So anyways, after I told him that he was handsome, he was like, "Do you want a drink?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "This is an Asian restaurant, my friend. In restaurants don't give out free drinks." But I was like, "Yeah, I would like a chocolate smoothie." And so I was impatient and I was gonna leave. And then I was like, are you treating me?" And then he's like, "Oh, if you're gonna leave, you have to pay. But you have to go back and sit down so I can bring it to you." And I was like, "Okay." So that I had to go back and sit down to drink that chocolate smoothie that he treated me to at an Asian restaurant. And Weirdly, I feel like lately I've been more attracted to Asians because, like, growing up I know, exactly. Who is this? Oh, yeah, Gary. Do I know you? Anyways, so it was really funny, and then, like, I just felt like, "Okay, well, I'm opening my heart." So I wrote down my number and I gave like, I was like, "I can't sit here all night," you know? So I walked to the cashier and he was there and I was like, "Oh, here's my number if you wanna hang out." And I was like, "Oh, write down your name," and it was well, I probably shouldn't say it, but anyways, in Chinese, it actually means, like, good, and it means yes, and it means, okay. Like, that's what it means. And so, yeah, so recently, I feel like I've been more open to getting to know, like, Asian men, and I think that for me, like, I never growing up, I never really was attracted to Asian men because, like, my dad's Asian, and I have issues with him. So, I was very distant emotionally with my dad and physically, so I just felt like I couldn't relate, and it felt weird. Also, I have a brother, and obviously he's Asian. But culturally, I find that now, like, it's like because I really like Asian food, and I think Asian, like, food is really yummy, and a lot of times, like, my ex, he was, like, white, he was white, like, blue eyes white, and he liked Asian food too, but I felt like culturally there were some things we couldn't relate with, such as, like, family is very important to me and to my culture. I'm sure it's important to a lot of cultures, but, um, I don't know, so, yeah, I'm just, like so that's, like, a little spiel, a little story tonight, that I thought was really interesting. Yeah, I've actually never, like, voluntarily initiated or gave my number out, so this is actually my first time doing that, and because 'cause I'm very traditional, I feel like a guy should ask a girl out or ask to hang out or and I've also been very disappointed, like, I was doing audience work at Sony one time, and they had, like, this fake dating show, um, and so they had, like, 3 guys go up, and then I was, like, the contestant, and so I had to face the other way, and then they explained, like, where they would take me on a date, right? So, this one guy, like, we really hit it off, he's, like, younger too, but he lived in San Diego, and he was like I was like, "You're so sweet," like, everything you said, even if he made it up, like, it was just so sweet. He was like, "You say you're gonna be famous, yeah, you're gonna change the world and blah, blah, blah," right? And I was like, "You're so sweet, no one's ever said those things to me." And so he was like, "Okay, yeah, we should totally hang out, like, I'll text you." He had my number, y'all. Okay, he didn't. So I get very disappointed when people promise something and they don't do it. And for me, it's just like, yeah, no. And in a weird way, I knew, like, he wasn't the one, like, he wasn't my future husband, so I was kinda relieved that he didn't, but I was also disappointed, because if you say you're gonna text or you're gonna call, like, you should do that, um, but yeah. Anyway, so that was my little, I guess, dating vlog for today. Um, yeah. My friend and I were talking about going on Tinder again. And I told her, like, guys are actually cuter and hotter on Tinder, but their intention might not be to get married or to date. They might just want to sleep around, and so be aware of that. But she's on Bumble, and I'm also on OkCupid and Christian Mingle. And again, even though it's called Christian Mingle, like, not all guys on there are Christian. They might just be saying that they are. Cause personally, I've gone on Jewish what's it called? What's that website called? It's for Jewish people, and I was on there because back then, I thought Jewish guys were cute. Anyways, the point is, I just wanted to share with you what I went through tonight, um, and I think there will be a lot more stories to share, and obviously, I'm not gonna expose all the stories or because I don't want people going on my YouTube and be like, "Why'd you talk about me?" You know? But this is all for entertainment and for expression. So thanks for watching. God bless you. And check out my website. And I have a podcast too. But make sure to subscribe. And if you like, you can give to the ministry as well. God bless. Bye. And say hi. Come say hi to me. He was flirting. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. It was very sweet of him. Gary, put user in. Okay, cool. Well, anyways, thanks for the comment. This is like my very I don't get a lot of comments, so yeah. All right, thank you. God bless you. Bye.